Okay, am I back?
It looks like it. It looks like you're logging into the main screen.
Okay. Almost back. Where I need to be.
Oota. Oota.
Takes longer to restart my router than it does to restart the computer. Okay, I think we're back.
Yay.
Did Bint have a stop before she got home?
She probably stopped at Winco to pick something up for Elle.
Okay. And of course, we get the beginning stream ad again.
Welcome to the Nut Hub. Now you can nut check your friends.
And Pixel, welcome back. And thank you.
It is me.
Oh.
Yay.
80 months. Holy cow.
I know.
We haven't even been doing this that long. It doesn't seem like it anyway.
I think Pixel was one of my first subscribers, or at least close to it. Weren't you, Pixel?
I kind of gotta be, if that's how long she's been subscribed.
Excuse me.
Well, I thought I was going to be cat-free. I would be wrong.
Uh-huh. Well, she's discovered the joys of you at the computer desk.
Mm-hmm.
It's a novelty.
Mm-hmm.
She has to take advantage of it. Of course, Caveman. He said, so we're saying that the greatest stream begins with but a single pixel? Yep.
Absolutely.
You knew I was going to get partnered too? Aha.
Oh, bloody. Odd launcher update.
Oh, I didn't even bother with it.
Well, I didn't intend to.
Mm-hmm.
It popped in as I was hitting play.
Oh.
And so I managed to do it
Hmm?
Didn't take long.
Nah.
And for the record, holy balls, it's gotten colder out there.
Oh, I've only got the garage temperature up.
It is getting down to where it was early this morning. It warmed up by about 10 degrees this afternoon when we first headed out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting back down.
I thought it only got down to about 36.
34.
34? Oh.
At least in our neighborhood. And talk about tightening the shoulder.
You got here about a month before I was partnered? I was only streaming for about a year before I got partnered, if I remember right. I started out playing... Was that... That had to be 7 Days to Die that I was playing at the time. 'Cause I didn't start getting any viewers until I switched from Minecraft to 7 Days to Die. Well, I do have a new streamer that I have been watching and really enjoying. Plays a lot of Elden Ring and Souls games.
Mm-hmm.
But
Who knew?
he's got a really, really nice voice.
Mm-hmm.
I ask you again.
Hmm?
Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
And a beard probably too, yeah?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Mew, settle.
Orion, welcome. He streams in the morning, so... where is
Oh, it
his
works.
name? How are your streams, Orion? Doing okay? Napstar F.
Do we need tool parts or anything? Any of the, parts as parts things?
I don't know. Before I was playing 7 Days to Die. Ah. And let's do this. How do you even spell that right? There you go. Go follow Orion. They're a really good streamer. Hey, go check out Napstar. I've really been enjoying his streams. He's one of the big streamers. Wasn't Tuck friends with Princess Kitsu? He doesn't remember him? It could be that they showed up about the same time in the streams. You know who I'm talking about? I think it's because I met them both about the same time. My brain tends to do that. Associate people.
Many of them do.
Mm-hmm.
Brains being funny things like that.
Oh. They do have a tendency to do that. Stone blocking Project Ozone. I forgot about Project Ozone. Wasn't Project Ozone one of the hard mods? We played the Sky Islands. Oh. That was a fun mod. Well, that's good. I actually appreciate knowing that, Tuck. I don't actually get a lot of feedback when it comes to stuff like that. I get some, but I don't get a whole lot.
How are we for coal?
We should be at least okay with coal.
Yeah, I think we're okay, but you know.
All right, I found a coal deposit, so I marked it.
Okay.
So I never mined out all of the coal out of that other place, did I?
Yeah, I don't know how
I don't
rich
think
this
so.
deposit is, but it's at least something.
Would spawn in an army of zombies? Yeah, I remember those. Do you think we should try Twitch integration again?
Well, we can look at it and see if we can see through it.
Squirrel!
And Jonah Casey, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Nut Hut. You know, one thing I still want to get back into is raising money for charity. Oh, I need an excuse to dye my goatee. I've got the brick red semi-permanent dye ready to go. I just need to know about when we would want to do that. Draconis, welcome.
We have a whole bunch of other colors too. Just saying.
Yeah, but I like the brick red.
Yeah.
You're not the only one on the hook.
Yeah, we've got the vampire red too. The vampire red.
Uh-huh.
Little bit lighter, brighter than the brick. Also robust stain.
Yeah, and see, you get to choose yours, but we could throw the wolves at the rest. You know, you get a set goal, and if we make a stretch goal, then they could choose for, you know, Bent or myself or something else. It's like, you know, make a stretch goal, and you guys could pick a color.
True.
No questions.
That has happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had teal-colored hair for quite a while because of that.
Exactly.
Those are two really good weapons. Early game, the pistol is good. Those are really good on Horde Night. Just every day poking around. The steel club is really nice. Beginning game, very beginning game, bone knife. Bone knife is amazing for damage.
Surprisingly well.
It shocked me at how good that was.
And it's very fast and doesn't require lots of stamina.
Yep.
And easy to replace and repair.
Yep.
All of the above.
Lurking while talking to your mom. So the next question about charity drives is, who do we want to raise money for?
Well, don't you always just do it for Child's Play?
Normally, yeah, but Child's Play's been changing.
Ah.
They're going the corporate route.
I see.
Well, there's the one we talked about last winter.
And I'm very fond of certain leukemia foundations, as I'm
Rather watch this in
fond
the
of
Super Bowl. You'd be surprised how many people are like that, Jonah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another possibility, Pixel. Currently on day 36. The Horde Knights should be starting to get a little bit stronger about then. But if that's your first time playing, then yeah, that's actually really good. We've gotten up to about day 600, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Between
Pretty high.
Yeah, between 500 and 600.
It's pretty brutal too, because it was one of those hefty mod replacements, I seem to recall.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the very first world that I played, I think I made it to day 500 without dying.
Wow. Go you.
It was 15 or 16?
I
Imminent.
can't make it a week or so these days.
Well, who's doing the halftime show? Is it Reba McEntire?
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
Yeah, she's another reason not to watch it.
Yeah, they made it about it.
Hey, that Celtic lady, welcome, and thank you for the raid. Chief Dancing Bear, welcome. How was the stream tonight? I did finally get to catch one of your streams. So for my chat, if you have not followed Celtic Lady, please do. Wonderful streamer.
That's the cancel.
It's Alexa, shut up.
Well, I keep forgetting to change trash day.
Mm-hmm.
I need to change trash day to before 5.
Celtic Lady, that just takes practice. Think of it as monologuing. That's the way I had to think about it when I first started streaming. Because you need to be talking even if there's no one there. That way when people do pop in and not say anything, you are at least talking. There have been a few channels or streamers that I just didn't bother following because they never said anything. So you need to practice the art of monologuing. Just talk about what you're doing. It gets easier with time. But it's much harder at the beginning.
I suppose it's a little easier too in situations like this when you've got someone on the server with you.
Yeah. I haven't had people consistently on the server. I haven't always had people consistently on the server.
No, I understand that, but I could see where that might make it easier because you've got someone you can, when you're not talking with chat, you have someone to bounce with.
Yeah. When they get to do and start going through it. Yep, exactly, Imminent. And you spent money this weekend that you didn't really have. I've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least it's something you needed, Celtic Lady. And not just something frivolous, like crochet supplies. Not that I would do that, but crochet supplies.
And die cutting supplies.
Yep.
Paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An I-cord machine.
Yeah, and glue and yarn. And I know all about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I am going to go ahead and get the prism glasses.
Yeah.
I'm missing crocheting. Celtic Lady, the nice thing about streaming is you don't have to know everything and do everything perfectly when you first start. You learn.
Even when you've been doing it for a while.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. You learn as you go. As long as you're having fun with what you're doing, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, it is the ultimate on-the-job training.
Yep. And I can tell you were having fun. You have a nail in the rear tire. Uh-huh. Exactly, caveman.
We're out of bones up here.
Bones?
Up where?
At the workshop.
We had stacks and stacks at the main base.
Yeah, I will say, I think I got most of those at some point, but I will check again. Because I did put on a small batch of glue with the last with the last bones I had.
Didn't you have some bones in your box? Or am I thinking feathers? Carubia?
You're thinking feathers.
Yeah. We need to go murder some more animals then.
We do.
Too cute to live.
Gonna need the rotten flesh too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I do what I hope to do up here, I'll need probably at least 2,000 farm plot blocks.
And I'll probably need another couple of hundred.
Exactly a minute. Did you verify that, Celtic lady? I'm a little paranoid when it comes to stuff like that, so I always worry that they're trying to scam me.
Because frequently they are.
Yeah, especially repair shops. Lasted 81k miles. Nice. Well, at least there was that.
That's probably getting to end of life anyway then. Because, yeah, 60 thou is what you can expect out of a good tire.
Yeah, true.
So,
like I said, it's me being paranoid.
Oh, I'm totally there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, putting new tennies on several of my vehicles, you know, the Santa Fe is actually going to be cheaper than most.
Mm-hmm.
New tennies on the Benz, I think, were like $1,900.
Due to one of the front tires having a slow leak. Ah.
Of course, I am in many ways very happy that I no longer drive a truck or a van.
Oh. Drivers have gotten crazy.
Oh yeah, well that's a gimme.
Mm.
But suspension and, you know, on a tow capable vehicle, suspension and tires is a non-trivial thing.
Yeah. Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Drivers there have always been crazy. Aha. 50 miles. Yeah, you would need good tires for that. I'm so glad that I can get away with not driving.
There is something to it.
Yep. So if I really need a vehicle, I can usually call on Bent for a ride.
Yeah, I was going to say you have a Bent.
Yep. Well, and usually you're going to be out and about anyway.
Very often. And, you know, and I'm totally down with that.
And I do play Carpool Dummy.
Yep. Which, you know, my not having to pay high tolls appreciates.
You can get behind that very necessary hobby expense. Yeah. Well, the problem I'm having right now, Celtic Lady, is it hurts my neck too much to do any crochet. Because I'm constantly looking down and my neck just can't handle it anymore. So I'm looking at some prism glasses. You put them on and you can see parallel down. You have to go. Uh-huh.
Aha.
Another. Oh! Aha.
Well, if you are the instigator, then I suppose you really do need to go there.
Yep.
Not that we would, instigate anything.
Yeah, well, go enjoy. Have fun.
That could be fun. I may have to look that up.
I think I've seen the trailer for it.
Have you seen Knights of Badassdom?
Oh, yes.
Sounds familiar.
Is Celtic still here?
I don't know. They may have taken off.
They need to put Knights of Badassdom on their queue.
Yep. No, you haven't? Aha. Yeah, you need to see Knights of Badassdom. It's a very funny movie and very cute.
It is. And it has a fair number of folk we actually know in it. Because it was, local.
Well, I don't know them.
Well,
you do, but I don't.
Hang around with us very long, and you'll meet some of them.
Uh-huh.
We can pretty much guarantee that. Oh, I bit the bullet too, boss.
Oh.
By the way. So, if you're going to do it, now would be a good time.
What?
To get your Worldcon membership.
Oh. I came very close to getting a hotel for TwitchCon. And was going to get 3 tickets when the tickets were available.
Oh, are they sold out now?
No, they're not available yet. They haven't
I
started
see
selling
what
them
you're
yet.
saying. They're not available from that point of view.
Yep.
Well, and the thing about having a Worldcon membership, and the reason that we have gotten Worldcon memberships non-attending for years and years and years, is you get all the Hugo nominees, and you get to vote on the Hugos.
Oh.
So you end up with, 105 books.
And being in Seattle this go around means you can commute. God, it's hard to imagine that this is only the 3rd Worldcon that we've had. Well, technically speaking, 2nd, but 3rd. And the first one, the Space Needle wasn't even finished yet.
Hmm.
62?
61.
Oh, right, odd number year.
Yeah, because if Carubia was available, I was going to pay for your ticket as well.
Well, I don't see why I might not be able to go. Just depends on when it is.
September the 19th
End
through
of.
22.
I don't see nothing pressing.
Hmm?
Worldcon's not till next year.
And we would probably be driving down there to San Diego.
As long as you don't mind the fact that I might implode from the fact that I can't help the drive.
Well, I wouldn't be able to help either. But we'd be able to keep into company as she drove.
I know.
I figured it would be better with 3 people than just 2.
It always is.
Yeah.
When we drove to, they certified me able to ride in a car after my surgery. It was really close whether or not I was going to be able to make this trip. Sparks and PJ and I went to Scottsdale via Vegas, Reno.
Have a good night, Celtic.
Enjoy your movie. A few places along the way. And yeah, because I didn't drive, they took the bulk of the driving, but it was a lot of fun.
So Imminent is telling me that it's a fact that the passengers have to sing in order to keep the driver entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Stranger things have happened.
There is something to that, because we did that in Flagstaff, I think it was. Of course, when we went to the Grand Canyon for my mother, because my folks never did make it when they came through that part of the world. And but when we were there, you could actually still sit on the side of the canyon. And while I did not sit all the way on the edge of the canyon, I did actually put my ankles over. But PJ sat on the edge of the canyon, had his lunch, and we watched I don't know if it was the east or the west, because, I'm directionally impaired, but the mesa on the left was this beautiful powder sky blue. I mean, imagine the most impressive picture of birds singing in your Snow White picture, whatever you trips your trigger for your perfect sky pictures. And on the right mesa, it was doom and gloom, and he who should not be named was throwing thunderbolts all over the place, and the dichotomy was spectacular. And it just goes to show you just how much distance was really between these two places, with this canyon in between, when you could sit there and watch these two atmospheric biomes at play. And it was spectacular, and I will never forget that. I hope to God I will never forget that. Let's go there. And not being allowed to pump my own gas on Oregon, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, well.
Evil
and
Jeff.
You're a motorcyclist.
Welcome.
And then you have to pump your own.
Some places we were at was even picky then, but yeah.
Yeah, with the wild variability in motorcycles, and it's.
They stood there and supervised, though.
Oh, they did.
Oh my gosh, it was wild. And this sweet little clerk who had never seen a food stamp before and thought I was giving her foreign money.
Oh, because that was back when they were paper.
Yep.
Yup. They were just switching the EBT. And but when we got home from that trip, I had my EBT was sitting in the mail. But yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't quite made the decision to actually pull the trigger on it, so I'm still thinking about it. I also want to see if Pixel can make it.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah. I think it's the 19th, 20th, and 21st. It's only 3 days. You will try? Aha.
I wonder how many screamers have sprouted up top.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like 4 chem stations and 34 forges going.
I haven't seen a single zombie out here yet.
I haven't seen or heard a single peep.
Well, I'm not hearing them, but I'm also 6 stories down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is it. I'm sitting at bedrock, and I'm just, you know. But I'm doing a massive push to a spot, because tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night for what?
Tonight's the night we
to get
have
to a spot.
to get to a spot.
Oh.
A designated spot.
Ah. So I don't think Dragoness has decided whether she's going or not either.
Now, have you know I am only 3 clicks away from that spot.
So I didn't hear many recommendations on a charity to raise money for.
Well,
there's always Extra Life.
I also support
You also support
I support a leukemia foundation, as a very good friend of mine has leukemia. and has been troopering through with it for nigh on 2 decades now.
Wow. I would consider a animal shelter imminent. I had started with Child's Play charities because I knew them from a YouTuber, and at the time I liked the work that they were doing.
Absolutely.
Now, Child's Play has a sister charity, and I never remember the name of it.
I think I've got a badge from them.
Yeah.
From PAX.
I discovered them through my nephew, who did a 24-hour Minecraft thing for Child's Play one year when he was young. When he were but a sprout.
Well, anything we do, it will be a week long.
Well, yeah, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I meant that's how I discovered, though, Child's Play.
Yeah.
It's because he had done this other thing. I don't know how long the actual thing was.
Mhm.
His part of it was a 24-hour sit.
Yeah.
I don't know how long the actual drive was.
Mm-hmm.
But him and his buddies sat up and they all thought it was cool because his old lady aunt logged into Twitch to watch him play a video game.
Oh, May even see about getting front page. I don't know. The last time we got front page, it was really disappointing.
Yeah, it kind of was, wasn't it?
Yep. Of course, I was also trying to coordinate with like 4 other streamers, and having to go
hard.
and having to go back and remind them that they're on front page right now, and they need to make sure that they follow the rules. It was just a nightmare. It's kind of what turned me off to, at the time, to raising money for charities on Twitch. At least with getting front page and working with other streamers. It's amazing, and those the guy who set up and runs it. Imminent, the only thing that is going to be a catch is the way that they get money. It would have to be direct donations. I can't take the money and donate the money. It's not legal to do that. And I wouldn't want to do that anyway. So they would have to have some type of way from...
International transfer account.
Well, it doesn't have to be international. Or are they not in the US?
They're not. They're in Greece, it looks like.
Ah. Oh, it's in Crete. No, as long as we've got a way of getting money to them. The problem with raising money for someone out of the country is I don't think people get a tax break for donating money. So we'd have to find another way of hyping it. That's the reason why you don't want to... If you run across someone who's running a charity and they're taking the money themselves, putting it in their account, and then donating that money to the charity, don't donate.
Walk away.
Walk away. One, that's not legal. Two, you don't know that that charity's actually getting that money.
And even if
three,
they actually are,
hmm?
you can't claim the
Tax write-off.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tex.
Yeah, no.
I realize now that's where you were going.
Yeah, no, I was agreeing with you, reinforcing what you were saying.
Exactly.
Well, let's go upstairs and see if we have company.
When's Horde again? 138?
Something
5,
like that.
I think. Last one was 27, I believe.
134. So not today.
No.
No.
See if we have any bones stashed in here. Nope.
Ooh, and yet another lead node. Hot dog.
Good. Kids,
All
we're
lead all the
slim
time.
pickings.
I've got 3 lead nodes. I will mark them for us.
Yeah, and Evil Jeff, the Trevor Project is one of the ones that I was thinking about. Are they strictly New York?
No.
Okay. That's what I wanted to double check. Wildcats, how are you? Where is Tom from? Tom.
Netherlands.
Okay. Do we have anyone in chat from Finland? I don't remember.
Well,
from
Skike
Finland?
is.
As I said, that's
Skike.
He's not here at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant right at the moment.
No,
Ooh.
no.
Oh, just in general.
Yeah, just in general.
I know Skike is, and that's about. I don't know about anybody else.
Evil Jeff.
Love me. Another lead node. Right on the path. It'll take some delicate mining, and you'll probably be the one helping me with it, but at least we've got some resources.
Evil Jeff, I have absolutely no problem with that. And Atlanta is probably has a great need for that. I would be much more in favor of that than someplace like New York. That's why I was asking about Trevor Project. I didn't know if they serviced
everywhere.
But do they have housing everywhere? I thought their housing was only New York. Their in-person stuff was only in New York.
Last I heard, was in maybe a dozen places.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obviously not everywhere. But yeah, something to check. Because it's been a hot minute or 6.
Yeah, and that's my problem. I haven't done enough investigating of them. Evil Jeff, do you know if they are a nonprofit? Are they 501c or any type of recognized charity? And send me the information about them through a private message. That way I can go check them out later.
Well, got company. Noisy company. Let's see if that brings out our sisters. Just cuddle right up to those spikes, Dick.
Hey, Ben, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. Well, he was, cozying up to my spikes, breaking them.
That's actually really good to know, Eminent. It's either go with a national one like that or go with some local.
True.
That people are somewhat familiar with, or at least the people here are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
because even Child's Play is not national. They have hospitals that they work with in their network, but they're not completely national. That you can view Trevor Project financials? Oh, that's actually really good to know.
And we'll circle back to point A. Tex has an amazing chat.
Yeah. Part of the reason why I was so glad to get out of where I was working, the percentage that they were actually giving out was slowly increasing or decreasing, and using more and more money for administrative, and almost none of that administration was going to actual employee overhead. Partly due to contract reasons, because the city would not let us use 99% of the money that we got for admin, which is paying employees. So that's why they were constantly pushing for direct donations. Because for that, they can pay the executive director.
Right.
Who was way overpaid. Especially compared to the rest of the employees. Most of which were only making $35,000 to $40,000 a year in San Francisco.
You know, that's barely above federal poverty.
Yep. And you know what the poverty level in San Francisco is?
You mean it's not just federal?
Nope.
It's locale adjusted.
Yep.
Then no, I don't know what it is, because I only know what it is here.
Well, ours is locale adjusted too.
That's what I'm saying. Then no, I don't know what it is, because I only know what it is here.
When I was working there, it was $70,000 a year. Was
25 here. Holy cow.
Well,
I can see that in California, though.
And especially San Francisco.
So, yeah, exactly.
But most people only pay out if you're making a percentage of poverty level.
Yeah.
Like, you had to be below a certain percentage of poverty level.
Yeah, they use that in a lot of calculations too for housing and wash cap and all sorts of. Jesus.
Exactly, caveman. And I won't support a charity like that. Whoever we decide on, I will actually do some research on them and make sure that they're a charity worth donating money to. I don't actually expect to make a lot, or to raise a lot of money, because I haven't done a charity drive in a really long time.
Coming up on 2 years.
Yeah, and I want to get back into it. I'm leaning to Trevor Project. or a local shelter. At a 4-star rating, and on the official, you can navigate to their financial pages. It reports 2008 to 2022. Nice. I'm glad they're open about that.
And organizations that aren't need to be looked at even more closely.
Uh-huh. Your wife and I founded a 501c or C3. Entirely volunteer run. What kind of charity would that be? And how do you get the administrative work done? You know, I like that a lot of the money goes directly to whatever you're supporting, but there's still going to be costs associated with running a charity.
When we ran our 501c3, we didn't have salaries, and we had to actually get rid of a certain percentage. We were only allowed to hold operating expenses. Anything above that had to be donated and dispensed of. Actually, that's how the KBTC in Tacoma is as robust as they are now, as we helped them get started, because that was our donation. That was our donation funnel. Their teaching facility, as well as a broadcasting PBS, and but yeah, none of the board, none of the committee, none of us had salaries. We were complete volunteers. So, I mean, I'm sure it's difficult, but it's not undoable.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, things like office space. I mean, there's the overhead ends up being
comes out of the expenses.
Single-digit percents.
Yeah.
Because the biggest.
It's just the profits that have to be liquidated.
Yeah. The biggest infrastructure expense is personnel.
Yeah.
In almost anything.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That was us too, Evil Jeff. We produced an annual event.
Yeah, I used to be associated with an art show that and community center that was 501c3, and you know, the founder passed away a few years ago, and you know, the art show was actually getting recognized in the art world worldwide, and the people who took it over just ruined it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's what happened with where I was at.
Top to bottom.
Yeah. That's what happened with where I was working. Was we had an executive director come in who wanted more money than any of the previous directors. She did some really good stuff with the organization at the time, but yeah, she was the start of the downfall, because all the managers, I mean, even with me, I was an IT manager and I made less than most of the other managers. Which I didn't mind. I was making enough to get by.
That's just it. If you make enough to live on, you know. when I was working at in tech support at Microsoft, people were grumping because on a contract, I was making X, whereas if I'd been a blue badge, I'd have been making twice that. And there was this like, well, you know, and blah and blah and blah, and they can't pay us the same as the blue badges do, and we do just as much as they do, if not more, and blah and blah and blah. And how come you're not all pissed off at this? And I'm like, dude, I just came off making minimum wage at just about $3 an hour. I'm making 5 times as much as I did. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And it all shut them down, shut them up.
Well, and at the time, I really enjoyed working there.
And this was just it, you know. I loved the work. I hated the job at the end of the day. When it was all said and done, a year later, when I left that particular job, I didn't like the job. I still loved the work. And I went on to do the work in private consultation. And I worked with low-income people and people who needed the kind of work that couldn't get help anywhere else. But I loved the work. I just hated that particular job. Because the hours were brutal and the people I worked with were a little toxic at times, but then again, this was 95 too. And my job description literally changed every Monday morning.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
because they didn't know what to do with a graphical interface operating system at the time.
Well, the problem that I was having there at the end was people didn't know what I did.
Yeah.
They didn't understand it when I explained it to them either.
Yeah.
And the senior manager, a lot of the stuff that she claimed on her resume wasn't true.
That doesn't help. Yes? You have dinner, honey. Hi.
And she was probably making about twice what I was as a senior manager.
I don't think it's 7 o'clock.
Not quite.
I tell you, she's got an internal clock that's nobody's business.
They do.
Hi, Pumpkin.
Yeah. They were going to back away and stop producing the event. We stepped up to do the next one. Oh, okay. That makes more sense, Evil Jeff.
Hi. You gonna come say hi to everybody?
Make a pretty proud.
Oh, I heard her.
Did you have a good nap?
Well, maybe she's just coming in to say hi after her nap.
I think she is.
It's not always about food.
She just let me pick her up. Hi. Did you have a good nap? I missed you today. I did. I miss you every time I'm gone.
Lollipop, fluffy butt.
Yeah, the other thing that really irritated me about that place was about the same time that Jerry died, someone else had a family member die, and the executive director took the time to go by their office and give their condolences to the other employee. And I got a small note left on my desk.
And without jumping to conclusions, let me guess, the other person was straight?
They weren't white. I think they were from the Philippines. There was a lot of It's not really homophobia there.
Yeah, it still could have been personal to her, not just a company feel.
Oh no, there was
Company feel.
a company feel.
That's too bad.
They tried to be very inclusive, but they didn't want to do anything to really include the LGBT community. And they were very passive-aggressive toward gay people. Once they find out you were gay, they were very dismissive.
Are you going to tell me how to play my game, or are you just going to hang out?
At the moment, I'm being really, really lucky.
No helpy kitty?
I have one, but she is laying down quietly.
Oh.
Lala has discovered the joys of soft, white, low-fat cheese.
Oh.
Mozzarella, to be specific.
Oh.
Oh, I was going to show you Lala, a video Lala made this morning. I forgot. I'll have to show it to you next time I come over. She was getting, you remember those exercise belts you used to put around you and you turn them on and they jiggle you? Well, she does that on the floor. She wants me to pat her back and forth with my feet. So I did that, and I took a little video of it. And then she rubbed her head on my ear, and then I caught her ear with my toes, and I shook her head back and forth. And then, rubbed her back, gave her a back rub, and then she just flopped out and went to sleep. She's freaky cat, I tell you. She's a good kitty, though. Yeah. Gotta cut your nails tonight. They're getting pointy. Yeah, she's digging up her chin again. So, she's having a little allergy outbreak.
Does she have cat acne? Where she gets blackheads on her chin?
She does not.
Okay.
But she has this spot down on her throat that aggravates her from time to time.
And
so she licks it until it
gets
drops.
irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dante had cat acne. So he got blackheads on his chin.
Poor little mite.
And they would get swollen and sore every once in a while.
Yeah. Dinah got an abscess on her chin where Nick had popped her once in a dominance play when she first came to move with us. And she got 2 or 3 little ones on the very end of her chin, but she got a really bad abscess right where the chin bones come together. And I didn't notice it because it was subset into those 2 bones until one day I noticed she looked a little thin. And she was 8.5 pounds overweight anyway. And she just happened to look a little thin. And I was like, and I picked her up and I felt her back and, she just, And I weighed her and sure enough, she was down about 4 pounds. And I'm like, okay. And, I felt around to see if there was any problems with her teeth, and I felt this lump under her chin. So I rolled her back and had a look at it, and I could tell this was not a subdermal or a glandular thing, that it was actually like a little abscess. I'm like, okay, great. They'd had a fight a while back. It blah blah blah. So I'm not taking you in. I'm gonna deal with this my own self and did, and oh god, that was spectacularly messy. But And she did not like it. Oh my goodness gracious, she was not a happy kitten.
I bet.
Words
But
you never want to hear from the vet or anyone else. We're going to irrigate your cat.
Yep.
Ask me how I know.
Blackhead is just a zit precursor. Well, partly true. A blackhead is a pimple that has not gotten infected.
Yes. But we did lance it. Took me the little ones we did immediately. The large one took about 2 days to fully, because I had to redrain it a couple of times, but it took about 2-3 days to fully drain enough that it concaved and fully got everything out of it. And during that time, she lost another 4 pounds. And no, but vet was extremely happy. I did take her in to follow up because you know I'm not a vet. And he looked at it and there was no infections. He said I did a great job. She went in for her regulars anyway. Her weight was finally down into the range she was supposed to be in. And when she discovered that she could actually jump, this was the shiznits, man. She was starting to climb onto something, and she used to do this little half jump to get her going. And she flew herself up on the bed, and she looked around like, "What did I do?" So I got one little video of her climbing up the bed, and we call her my lean, mean climbing machine. Oh, I miss her. She was my mom's cat. She had this beautiful little white bikini. You ready to get down now? Okay. Bye-bye. Love you. No? You change your mind? Oh, you're gonna watch Mr. Tax, huh? Yep, she's sitting in front of the Mac. Tail going swish, 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 watching you flip dirt. I don't need Maru. I have this.
Yeah. I think Mew misses Foxy's helicopter flying though. That was great cat TV.
That was great cat TV. Yep, absolutely.
You know, it's funny. I had the movie Winged Migration. I bought it because I thought the cats would enjoy it. Because it's basically just all about birds migrating and following these birds as they migrate. They didn't watch it at all.
Nettle and Ann use I don't know what they use for source material. But they have a couple of old laptops that their cats will ask for cat TV.
Oh yeah. Well, as soon as my cats discovered Maru, they were much more interested in watching Maru, and that's one of the ones that they would ask for. You've got a big aquarium that's high def cat TV.
Oh, you know, I bet you that she might like fish. I've never tried fish. I'll have to put fish on the computer and see if she did go with that. I've only seen her really engage in the TV once, and that she was so hooked up she actually jumped up on the TV stand.
Yeah, usually a fairly good indicator that they like some show. You had one? Not anymore?
Yeah, I miss my fish tank. I've been thinking about getting another small fish tank.
Mm-hmm. They're a lot less work than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you do salt water.
Unless you do saltwater.
Yeah, but
since
those
I want
are
to put a koi in
so...
it, I'm okay.
Yeah. I had an Oscar that raised goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that.
Mm-hmm. He
You
usually...
had a puffer that would wander around the tank and beg for treats.
Oh.
I got this gorgeous 20-gallon tank. I still use the stand
Mhm.
for other things, but I had this 20-gallon tank of cycling to put koi in.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's mother, it's like, oh, you should get goldfish. And I said, I'm getting koi. Well,
Mm-hmm.
get goldfish while you're waiting to get your koi. I said, I have to cycle the tank. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets me this tiny little goldfish
Mm-hmm.
to put in there. Okay, fine. Give me the 75-cent goldfish. We'll put the goldfish in there, and well, the tank is cycling.
Mm-hmm.
Except the 75-cent goldfish grew to the size of the 20-gallon tank, and I never did get my koi.
Yep.
This goldfish, whose name turned out to be Comet, by the way, was like 5.5 inches long.
Uh-huh.
He was gorgeous. He was gorgeous, and he was this beautiful orange, and he sparkled and he shimmered, and he was fast, which is why his name was Comet. But dang it, I never did get my koi. Koi are they are the carp of carp.
You used to have a 110-gallon live coral reef,
Ooh.
and a 75-gallon you kept the more aggressive predators in. Oh. Well, I couldn't really keep any fish in with the Oscar.
Nope.
Except for the goldfish.
Yep.
Because I would give him feeder fish as a treat about once every 6 months. And he would always keep 2 goldfish. He would eat all the goldfish except for 2 and just leave those 2 alone. And it got to the point with 2 of them that I ended up just dumping them into a pond with a bunch of koi. Because they were too big. I couldn't do anything with them. And they were probably about 5 inches long, and they grow really fast.
They will grow to the size of any tank.
Mm-hmm.
And the rule of thumb is 1 inch of fish per gallon of tank.
Well, the Oscar actually gave him to a pet store that raised fish. And I didn't go in asking for money, but they insisted on paying for him because he was like 10 inches long. He was huge. And he was extremely healthy.
Well, that in and of itself.
Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about, Caveman, was the Oscar was raising goldfish. He was a character, too. I put an apple snail in there to try and help keep the tank clean. An apple snail is about the size of your fist. I mean, it's huge.
Lasted a day?
Lasted about a day, yeah. I noticed that the snail was still on the bottom of the tank, about the same place he had been the day before. So I fished him out to take a look at him, and there was a great big hole in the side of his shell. So the Oscar ate the apple snail, which was supposed to be too big for him to mess with.
Yeah. We pretty set for carbon.
Yeah.
I need some space in my backpack.
I'll pitch it. Yeah. I mean, we've actually been selling some of it because, you know, it turns into dukes, which turn into brass cartridge cases. But, yeah, if you need space in your backpack, rock and roll.
How come y'all haven't accepted my invites?
Because I forgot to do it.
Well, I've
That's
sent you
my
new.
excuse, and you're sticking to it.
Yeah, it was the getting distracted as getting loaded in.
Doing very important things. I'm doing community work here.
Yeah, the Oscar, he really surprised me. I didn't realize just how smart some fish were.
Oh, God. Fish are hella smart.
They can be. Or they can be, you know, dumb as rocks.
Now this one was pretty smart.
Well, well-socialized fish. Or, you know, like well-socialized folk of any flavor. Oh, remember the picture from a year ago today that I posted of the little red wagon full of the puppy polar bears? The smallest of said puppy polar bears is now 140 pounds. And they are all happily working as livestock guardian dogs.
Nice.
So what's the score right now, Draconis? Nobody scored anything in the first quarter? Wow.
Wow.
How are you doing for Mad Minor potions, Kirby?
On me I have 40. At the base, there's probably another 30 or 40. If
Well,
not, I'll put them
I'll
on
put
when I
some
get
on.
there.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna put some on. I took the last 13 out of the box.
Okay. I hear a squawker. I must be near the surface.
Yeah, my Oscar would do that, caveman. He would even jump up and take a piece of food out of your hand.
Oh, wow.
And if I hadn't fed him yet, and he was hungry, he would bang the top of the tank. He would hit the lid to let me know that he was being ignored.
Well, maybe I won't quite yet. Maybe go harvest water.
Oh, yep.
Then I can make potions.
I am more closer to the surface than I thought I was. Excuse me, boys. Trying to exit here.
Company?
Yes, but you know, what can I say?
Hi, cat. Thank you for helping me with the mouse.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Mouse. Cat.
Cat. Yeah.
I thought she had explained that to you before.
It's a
I
concept
guess I'm just
thing.
a slow learner.
Human. Human.
Yep. Yeah. Besides bones, we need to go on the great polymer forage as well.
I could actually use some help out here to finish this up.
Okay.
This is bigger than I realized it was. Didn't take us long to dig out, but it's going to take more blocks to fill in. I need to make sure I've actually got enough topsoil.
Well, we have plenty here.
Let me finish this POI I'm in. And put down my lamb claim.
Hey, what was that recipe again?
2 cups of flour, a cup of milk, 2 eggs, salt to taste, teaspoon of sugar, and some cayenne pepper.
Because, you know, that all will make the medicine go down.
Yep.
May not keep it down, but it'll help it get down. And that was just the stair I wanted to miss. And I still stepped on it. Go me.
I was watching some chef today on YouTube, and he was reviewing some kitchen gadgets and whether or not they would work and whether or not he would recommend them. And he was going on about not liking single-purpose gadgets. But most of these gadgets, you can just use a knife. And I was thinking, well, isn't a knife kind of a single-use tool? I mean, all it does is cut.
Yeah.
Maybe scrape stuff up.
Well, it's a knife you can cut multiple things, so.
Yeah, but it's still just cutting.
It's the knife, yeah. I get your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get your point. But
and that is true. But you know, the amount of time it would take me to, and my knife skills on my best day, you know, I could cut paper thin slices of potato or whatever. I do not have the dexterity to do that anymore.
No.
And you know, that is why the great god of kitchen things invented mandolins.
Oh,
Well,
God, I love my mandolin.
Well, one of the things that he really was kind of impressed with was for making pancakes. It's basically just a big tub with a shaker in it. You take the bottom off, add all the ingredients to make pancakes, put the lid back on, and shake it up.
Yeah, then pour it out
then pour it out the tip. And he was actually impressed with that one. Which...
nothing new.
Well, it was new to him.
I was going to say, Tupperware marketed one of those in the 80s.
70s. Yeah, 80s, yeah. Excuse me. Not really.
The only one he didn't... There were several of them that were just stupid. One of the ones that he kind of liked was a all-in-one salt and pepper grinder.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's only because... was only because he didn't like that you didn't have as much control over the amount of salt.
Yeah, well, and the grinder mechanisms will not wear at the same rate.
No.
And so at some point you're going to have a device that one side works and the other side doesn't.
Yeah. I've had this... The salt grinders actually last longer than the pepper grinders.
That is sometimes the case. It depends on the pepper grinder.
Yeah, because the peppercorn is a little harder than the
salt crystals. Yeah.
Well, crystals are designed to fragment. The peppercorn actually requires, you know, crush and break.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm also a person who has probably... Well, at the moment, I think I only have 3 pepper grinders stoked. But I have, you know, a mix pepper, and then I have
Well, and I swear by salt grinders, at least for me. I end up using, yeah, I actually end up using less salt. You get such an even spread of salt that it doesn't take as much for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you know, I've also got a half a dozen exotic salts.
Mm-hmm.
But those are finishing salts.
Yeah.
If I'm cooking, I'm going to use sea salt out of a canister.
Yeah, or kosher salt.
Or kosher salt.
Depending on what you're making.
Yes. Does it need to be fine? Then it's sea salt. If it doesn't need to be fine, then it's kosher salt.
Mm-hmm.
But non-iodized salt.
Mm-hmm. Tom.
Yeah, I'm bad. I always use iodine salt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to keep my iodine up.
Yeah.
Then that's not bad then.
Yeah,
because you're using it for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I can really, really, really taste the iodine.
Mm.
But I have, I've got 3 or 4 salts from Hawaii that have different apparent saltinesses.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the things that really impressed me with the Himalayan salt, was it didn't have a really strong salt flavor.
Right.
Agreed. But I like black.
And it's the other minerals that are in it.
Yep.
Like say the black salt or the red salt. Or I have salt from Iceland, which has various licheny things in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have salt from Iceland that has licorice in it.
Oh.
Instead of salted licorice, it's licorice salt. And I have salt from the salt mines of Salzburg. Because, that's why Salzburg is called Salzburg.
I'd have to say it's still my
16
favorite salt.
what is 16 to 16? Pergonus. I don't follow the reference.
It's clearly
Super Bowl score. Oh, okay.
It is 19 o'clock, but as long as I have a quiet cat donut here, I am not getting up to feed.
Mm-hmm.
And when they cease to be quiet, then I'll get up.
Hemogoblin, welcome. It has been a while. How are you doing? Hope life's treating you well. Oh, and I went back and double checked. Of course, I had to play to the end. That Elden Ring character, I have just started New Game 35. Been busy working loads. Oh, aha. Yeah, no, I can understand that. It's like I was saying earlier, not today, but a couple of days ago. I've got less free time now than before I retired.
Oh, absolutely.
Where the fight gets super fun. I feel like I need to prepare. Oh, yeah. that can be fun. And hang out on Twitch. That sounds like a good plan to me. And I'm out of topsoil.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Got some cobblestone out here, but no topsoil. Or almost no topsoil. Was there topsoil at the main base, or is it only out?
Lots.
Okay.
There's lots.
I assume that means we had an attack of the Annie.
What are we talking about?
Making topsoil.
Oh, I can make more topsoil here if we need to.
I've
Oh, we've
already
got a
started some.
bunch.
You've
Okay.
got a visitor out at your workshop.
Why am I not surprised?
That's alright, I took care of her. She didn't see me coming.
She had it coming.
Mhm.
Okay, now you've got Jailblock Tango in my head.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
Annie, that is such an evil laugh.
I
love
love
it.
Hi, thank you.
And where are others?
Maybe,
First
yeah.
box.
Mm-hmm. Should I make more topsoil at the main base? Because I think you're gonna need more than what you have on you.
That's very possible.
Is there anything I should be bringing back from the
there's
workshop?
You haven't got it all.
But you can put some
There's-
more.
I
There
only
is-
see
there-
2 boxes.
1 second.
There's no topsoil over there.
There's some in the more gravel box because there wasn't enough room in the topsoil box.
We've got 2 topsoil boxes.
Yes, and there wasn't enough room for it at that time.
Oh, okay. So I would never have thought to look for topsoil in the more gravel box. I say as I have a smirk on my face.
I
Of
know.
course you do.
You look, I don't have a sweatshirt on me.
I am dropping off lead at the workshop. Do you want me to do anything with it while I'm here? Some of it?
Nah, drop it in the lead box, which is back by the forges.
I see it.
And because I think we're going to need to reload the forges that have been making glass, because I believe they have cycled everything that they can cycle.
Everything looks to be off.
It's all burned out by now. You could restore.
That's why I'm asking, because everything appears to be off.
Who was the actor in Easy Rider? I remember Fonda being in it, but who was the other one?
Marlon Brando?
Easy Rider?
No, that was East Side
Dennis
Story,
Hopper. That's it.
Okay.
So which Fonda was it? Henry Fonda?
Peter.
Peter Fonda.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So I don't mind being compared to Dennis Hopper. I do mind being compared to Peter Fonda. Peter Fonda was just ugly.
Please.
He was.
I don't know. I sometimes I can't actually remember Peter Fonda from.
That's part of the reason.
But you know, it's like. Okay, Trader Box.
Dan Haggerty was in it?
Really?
Dan Haggerty was gorgeous.
God, he did have great hair.
Oh.
That man had great hair. And a good beard. He was a nice looking man.
He certainly was.
Mm-hmm.
All of the Fondas should be apologized for.
One of his grizzlies actually was habitat when they retired, lived here in one of our habitats for a while.
From what I hear, he was a really nice person too.
What I understand, yeah.
Okay. So all the workbenches in the second room are cranking on topsoil.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
Thank you.
I'll leave some workbenches empty for other things.
At your great door.
It's like, I thank you.
I'm glad you agree.
I went back and watched Barbarella again not too long ago. It's such a bad movie.
Yeah.
And her acting in that is just terrible.
Well, yeah.
Was her acting always that bad? 'Cause I don't remember actually
much.
watching many movies with her in it.
I think that she made her living off the family name.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, her marriage and subsequent divorce to Ted Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they did get divorced, yeah?
I
so.
don't know.
I thought they did.
I never acquired any interest whatsoever in Jane Fonda, so I never kept track of her.
I only really knew that bit because Ted Turner was, Turner Network.
Yeah.
And he colorized movies that he should have been beaten and flogged for.
Yep.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, thank you. I will. Hand me that soapbox.
Who was it that Howard Hughes had control over? It wasn't Rosalind Russell, was it?
It was.
He prevented her from acting for years because he held her contract.
Wow.
Yeah, he did that with a couple of actresses. And Rosalind Russell was actually really good. And didn't she... Oh, okay. Jean Russell.
Rosalind
Slater.
Rosalind, somebody else. Yes.
Yeah, I like Rosalind Russell. Jean Russell was okay. Rosalind Russell was just amazing. She was the one that was in Auntie Mame, wasn't she?
You're asking my memory?
Hmm?
Gee, boss, you put a lot of faith in us.
And according to chat, yes, they did get divorced.
Okay, thank you, chat.
Jean Russell, she didn't actually end up doing that much because of Howard Hughes, or not as much as she could have.
No, because he basically owned her.
Yep. Who was it that made changes to the bra? Was that Jean Russell or Rosalind?
Yeah.
Rosalind?
No, that was Jane Russell.
Okay, Jane Russell.
That was actually Howard Hughes for Jane Russell.
Oh, okay.
He used his aircraft engineering prowess
To reinvent the bra.
Yep. One each bullet bra.
Okay. Because I loved her in Auntie Mame. Because the scene where she's in the play is just iconic. And she pulled it off so well.
I was reading just in the last day or so. About the Harvey girls. And Angela Lansbury was the madam in the Harvey girls. One of her first roles, and she was at the whopping age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow.
Oh wow. Excuse you. No. You have this lovely wandering horde coming by.
Mm-hmm.
No. Come here. Everybody line up. That's it. Congo style. And my car creeps away by itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only is it not the same experience anymore, I mean, it's just too damn expensive to go to the theater.
We will have to take you to the crest one day.
Mm-hmm.
However, just...
Well, the only theater that I've seen other than opera was the Phantom of the Opera twice.
Oh yeah.
We did go see. What was the other Wagner? Not the Ring Cycle. Was the Story of Faust. Which one was that? Oh, that's a good point, Eminent. He's asking how you know they're wandering. They may have directions to your place and want to visit.
Point.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We'll give you that.
But then there's a handful that are just milling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll give them that. I think I got them all. See anymore? There was only about 12.
Tannhauser.
What?
We went to see Tannhauser. My first ex was a huge Wagner fan. Tannhauser is used a lot in the Looney Tunes Go to the Opera.
Mm-hmm.
And he nearly slapped me.
Wow.
Because I told him at intermission that during
it just didn't look right without Bugs Bunny.
No, that I was thinking about poking him in the ribs during the introduction and ask when Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd were going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you still had the kill the wabbit refrain going through your head.
Yep.
Oh boy. So that went over real well.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
Jerry had
was
just about had a fit.
No, this was Troy. This was my first
Troy.
ex.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you don't tease a Wagner fan. They don't have a sense of humor about Wagner.
Well, most of them don't. Some do.
Well, this was before it was really prominent of how much of a Nazi sympathizer Wagner was.
Because my German instructor, she could make light of it.
Hmm.
But then again, maybe she was just a Looney Tunes fan, so.
True.
My college German instructor, she was amazing. She had a doctorate in linguistics, and so she made learning a language really interesting.
That makes for a good
Okay, do you
instructor.
got...
So that makes for a good instructor.
It does.
Because
We called her Frau Doctor more than we called her Frau Schimmelbusch.
Mm.
So you got topsoil out there, or
Yeah. In the front set of boxes in the lower left.
Okay.
That's still one of my favorite Looney Tunes cartoons.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a small detour and pick up this airdrop.
Mm. That and any of the ones with Marvin the Martian.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
yeah, duh.
One of my biker people. Yeah. Did a prompt question last few days.
Mm.
You know, name a cartoon character that the current generation has never heard of. Marvin is right up there.
Marvin is right up there.
Not of the current generation.
Right?
But
Because Marvin was fairly obscure in our generation, you know.
It didn't see him very often.
I know who he is, but I also watch. The 90s was basically a combination of all the previous generations of cartoons, basically.
Yep.
So, like,
Yeah, but you're not necessarily bleeding edge current generation either.
no,
Oh, yeah, you're not a Gen Zer.
Yeah, I
no.
don't think so.
I'm a dreaded millennial.
Sure you're not holding out on me, boss?
Hmm?
Oh, never mind. Nobody panic. I found it. You guys are hiding this stuff from me.
No, dang it.
Alright. What do you want done, boss?
Yeah, come out to the back corner.
Okay. Is that where you are right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Be nice if the game actually snapped graphics in so I could see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but dynamic mesh, it's a thing.
That doesn't work very well.
Well, yeah,
Plus
it's a thing.
44.
It's not very
Are you
dynamic.
gonna lower this any lower than plus 44?
Huh?
Are you gonna lower this any lower than plus 44?
Nope.
The current elevation? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, starting up here. all of the dirt and stone needs to be covered with topsoil.
Hang on a minute, my stamina's tanked. Okay, starting up here. Okay. Give me an example, please. Just along the edge?
No, it needs to be filled in. I found it's easier starting up here.
Uh-huh. Okay, how far down do you want it filled in?
All the way to the ground.
So all the way down to this point here, this pointed one? Or that one there where you're standing?
Where I'm standing.
This one here. So all the way back up there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want it tapered or flat?
Just flat.
Sure.
What I was saying was I found it's easier to get the edges first.
Right.
On all of it.
I see what you're saying.
Then fill
and then
in.
fill from edge to edge.
Yep.
Okay.
I just don't want to spend another 3 streams doing this.
No, I get that. I get that. I just want to make sure I get it the way you want it
Mm.
and the way it's supposed to be done because I can't visualize it. Okay.
Well, like I said, basically it's covering up all the stone and dirt.
Yeah.
Stair stepping matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Think I can do it. I think I got this. I think I got this. I think I got this.
Like I can see the castle from the base practically,
Mm-hmm.
over the hill. Just the ground is just being a butt.
Yep. Great Gazoo. First appearance,
Oh
1965.
Great Gazoo. Oh, wow. I
Wow.
remember the Great Gazoo.
That was.
Oh,
Seen
that was
one.
classic.
I'll be right back.
First appeared in 1952. And My Favorite Martian first aired in 1963.
I was just thinking that My Favorite Martian. But then again, I had the biggest crush on Bill Bixby. So, you know.
Well, we had cable, but I've never really gotten into watching a lot of TV. There was a long stretch of my childhood where we just didn't have a TV. My parents couldn't afford to buy one.
Sure.
We eventually got a color TV and cable, but that.
I'm sure that came later on.
That was much later.
Mom said she remembered when they got color TV. She was 14. Well, when they got TV, and then they got a color one. I'm trying to remember. How far down do you want this? All the way down to where it connects to this one down here?
No. Skip the green spots.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, just covering up the dirt and the stone.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved the ring cycle because of Anna Russell. I've only sat through the entire ring cycle once.
It takes a bit of stamina to sit through the entire ring cycle, dude.
Yeah.
Our friend JC started out as a sound engineer at the Opera House here. And he retired last year. And he was the sound designer at that point. He was senior sound designer. And he said he was doing his last ring cycle. And it was his 22nd or 23rd, I think, time of doing it.
My first ex flew out to San Francisco for a couple of weeks because the San Francisco Opera was doing the entire ring cycle. And he saw all of it live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
four operas. Yeah, 4 operas at 3.5 to 4 hours each. I was actually more interested in the production. The thing that I got irritated with Wagner, and a lot of operas fall into this, is it taking a half an hour to say one line. Because they'll get one word into it and repeat that word over and over and over and over again. Get to the second word and repeat that word over and over and over again.
Yeah, those are composers who need librettists.
Yes. You didn't include the X-Men in that? And you claimed no TV. The X-Men was my favorite. I don't like Batman, so I never got into the Batman cartoons. But X-Men had me hooked.
I remember going to Pizza Hut to get...
Oh, X-Men was the 90s?
Yeah. When they did their a promo thing, and you could get the X-Men, part of the X-Men first season on VHS with a pizza order.
Batman Beyond and X-Men were amazingly written cartoons. Especially for the time.
I have all of the X-Men original series. You sure I'm doing this right, Mouse?
Well, this row is right. Well, looks fine to me.
Okay, then I'll start filling it in. Okay, just want to make sure just didn't look right, so just checking.
It looks a little more even once you get further
Sure.
out or closer to the ground.
All right.
The edges over here are kind of
Probably
tricky.
a little wonky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll even it up when we. Get clean around that, not to get into the green bits.
And I've got pulled pork sandwich for later.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I have no idea what I have for later. I'll figure it out when later gets here.
I have orange sherbet.
Now
with an arrow bar.
Yeah, I could have some of that salami, but I'd rather have the pulled pork since that won't last as long.
And then I'm gonna take a knife and I'm gonna back smack the cartridge in my my lychee nut, my lychee soda.
Oh, that's the flavor you got.
Yep.
They're continuing the series? That would be amazing. Never been a big fan of Spider-Man either. He just never really clicked with me.
I have to admit, I agree with you on that one.
I liked the movies okay.
Yeah.
Now, I do love Spawn. Not Spawn,
Venom?
Venom. Of course, I liked Spawn too.
Dang it.
I just wish the movie had been better.
I have heard that from a couple of quarters.
Well, the HBO's cartoon series of Spawn was better than the movie. Like any other teenage boy, Dragon Lord?
Yeah.
What was that?
Keaton and Nicholas were much better as Batman and the Joker.
Mm-hmm. And I am proud to say that I was in the camp from day one, and everyone said Keaton couldn't do it. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you he can. But then again, I had already seen Clean and Sober.
Mm-hmm.
And
he did a better job than Val Kilmer.
Oh.
Val Kilmer was the one that I wasn't sure he would be able to pull it off.
Yeah, but at that point, a precedent had already been set.
Mm-hmm.
When Keaton did this, we hadn't had a Batman, let alone a serious Batman, since the 60s.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. Go look at he's a comedian. Yeah, so, but look what he done with this, and this.
Yep.
Yeah, and he did, and he pulled it up.
The dude has chops.
The dude has chops. And he did it, and he did it well, and it's just like, and I was super excited when they did this last Flash movie, and Keaton got to do a reprisal. He said it was absolutely an amazing thing for him to be able to do that.
I even liked the one with Poison Ivy. Was that the Clooney one? That was George Clooney.
That was either Clooney or
And that was Batman and Robin, wasn't it?
There was two Batman and Robin movies, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
I quite honestly, I quit keeping track after Val Kilmer. It wasn't until later on when we started getting back toward Ben Affleck and the content of the movies themselves started coming back around to being that little more Dark Knight-ish again, that I even started paying more attention, but I still didn't really keep track of them. Some of them got a little too way out there for me.
Well, it's always going to be better with invading aliens and giant robots.
Yeah, duh. Every girl's dream is Mecha. Ask me how I know.
How do you pronounce your name? But welcome. Have you got a nickname? Something Milo? Yo Milo?
Mio.
Mio.
Yo
Mio.
Mio. He Mio. Callie.
Callie? Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes it easier.
Although I would be curious for the pronunciation just because I love everyone who comes through here with all these beautiful names.
Or weird ones.
That to me is great. Your weird is my gorgeous.
Oh.
I'm fascinated with words though, because words are hard, but words are amazing. Uh-oh, there goes my tank.
And yes, Dragon Lord. May not be every girl's dream, but a whole bunch of ones that we know.
Yeah, the Spider-Man cartoons, the Miles Morales ones, I love those movies. Of course, I've been a fan of Miles Morales for a while now. Kyo Mio?
Ah, okay.
Oh. Well, that is true. Twitch does make it hard to pick an easy name.
Yeah, upon reflection, I'm actually kind of surprised that I got mine.
Yep.
I seriously got mine, because no numbers, no underscores, you know.
I didn't have any trouble with mine. I have had trouble with one of the things that people will do is mimic your account. So I had to work with Twitch to get rid of a bunch of accounts that were not only mimicking my name, they would go with TextCubSF1, TextCubSFF, or TEXXCUBSF. And they would also use my graphics. So I'd have to contact Twitch, let them know that this is a fake account, and they're using copyrighted material, and have them taken down. Well, the problem was they were trying to use my email address to create an account on Twitch. One of my old email accounts. So I had to contact, it was a couple of weeks where I had to contact Twitch fairly regularly to have them take down accounts. Last time I checked, there weren't any left. But it ended up like 15 or 20 accounts.
Attempts.
Yep. Sort of people imitating it. I know at least part of it was to get viewers to mistake my account. I think part of it was they were hoping that I have to authorize a new account. And I think they were hoping that I would, at least with some of them, that I would go ahead and authorize it thinking that something else was going on. The other ones, I think it was just for confusion because they were never really used. No one ever streamed from them. I think part of it was trying to steal my account.
Trying to hijack you.
Mm-hmm. I never completely understood what they were doing there. The Chiefs won. Ah. Glad it works in all platforms. And I would actually make sure that no one is trying to steal your account or mimic your account as well. That's something almost everyone should be double checking. Because none of the accounts had any views or followers, so like I said, I just don't really understand what their purpose was. But stealing my artwork? Yeah, no, you don't steal my artwork. As a matter of fact, my agreement with the artist is he's got the primary copyright. I've got rights to use it, but he's got the primary copyright. And he does not hesitate to send takedown notices or contact Twitch. That's kind of what I was thinking. Was they were planning on using it for spam and stuff. At least that was the only thing I could think of at the time. I haven't had any problems with that in a long time. I mean, a really long time.
I hear Patty pause.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? I think there.
Yeah, there's a zombie down here.
Yeah, I see one up here, I think.
Him and his deer.
No, I guess not. Yeah, see nobody.
Well, oh, you're actually further away than I thought. There was
I
a
love the
zombie.
fact that my scope has spots on it.
Oh.
Watermarks.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. Got all sorts of timers running. Yes, I know.
Oh, I'm doing landscaping around the castle. Exclamation point build if you want to see what the castle's going to be based on. So we've got a big build going on.
But we're going to have to go out and kill things here pretty quick. Because, you know, there are certain resources that we need.
Time to spend an evening in the wasteland?
Probably.
Okay. Not tonight, though.
Nah, not tonight.
Because when I'm done with this, I'm actually thinking about going and taking some headache medication.
Hmm.
The fuzzies are fuzzying up. I had a bit of a moment while we were at World Market.
Mm-hmm.
It's still here.
Well, I had the headache yesterday and this morning until I drank some coffee. That may not be entirely caffeine related, what I'm thinking. Let's go in here. Let's go into God mode to fly around.
Because you just like that.
Well, it's easier to show off the build.
Oh, it is. I'm just...
So what I'm doing is landscaping this, because it used to be just a flat wall up.
And if I had an emote to wave at y'all, I'd wave at y'all, but I don't, so wah.
The problem with 7 Days to Die is you can't see all the build at once.
I don't think that at this point that would be a failing of 7 Days to Die. I don't think any game we built in at this point would allow us to see all of it.
Well,
it's
possible.
Just that big.
Yeah. Well, if you count the landscaping, this is the biggest build we've done so far.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, this is the front.
I'm hoping this week Sparks can get in so she can see.
Yeah, even if she got in just as a guest appearance.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to hide all this stone and dirt. Yeah, this is what we do.
Oh, and yeah. But wait,
This is what we
more.
do. But wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Come
yes,
back in
there
about
is.
4 months and we'll give you the but wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm. Because Karubi,
trust me, there's more.
Yeah, Karubi is doing her own build.
And while it is my own, it is also for the group.
Yeah. I'll be back on tomorrow. If you follow me on Twitter, I always post an announcement on Twitter. Or if you join the Discord, you will know when I'm not going to be streaming and when I am going to be streaming. So I use Discord and Twitter.
Boss. Tongue for bland cheek. It's X now, remember?
I remember.
Okay.
I am fully aware.
Okay.
I just refuse to use it.
I know. I do too. I hate that.
You usually pay attention. Yeah. The only thing I post on Twitter is when I'm going live. I don't post on Twitter for the days that I miss. At least not often. And this Twitter's gotten so bad.
Well, my understanding is a lot of people on Twitter's actually left Twitter.
Yeah, but the place they've
But the
gone
ones
to,
who've stayed.
yeah, the place they've gone to is invite only.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So have they started the actual monetization of Twitter yet?
They've had monetization for a long time.
Have they?
Uh-huh.
My understanding was it was still a free service, but once it became the under new ownership was going to fully
yeah, because you
go
can
to
buy
pay only.
Yeah, I don't expect them to do that. But we are talking Musk here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My understanding was that was the end goal. Is it is going to be a subscription service.
I don't know that they could actually get away with that. Because if they go subscription only, then it's just going to fall apart.
Isn't it doing that now?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the people who really wanted to use it for what it was have already probably left anyway.
No. There's still quite a few people on there.
Okay.
But that's the only...
completely gone up in flames yet?
No, it hasn't. But the Blue Sky and Mastodon really haven't lasted that long. I would be interested in... Mastodon was one of the first Twitter alternatives.
Oh, alternatives. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have heard that Blue Sky has...
They don't have a desktop version.
Well, and has significant security issues.
Yep. So there's really not a good alternative to Twitter at the moment. Still better than Facebook, though. Good night, Tom Tom.
Night, Tom Tom. Rest well.
Night, Tom Tom.
Good night.
I don't think we could get away with calling one Skynet. Dragon Lord.
Yeah, considering there was already something pretty close to it anyway.
I think Blue Sky is the one that is the Facebook one.
Meta, yeah.
It's still Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, it is still Facebook because actually right now, from my way of thinking, because I'm not an expert on this, let me be perfectly clear here. From my experience with it, Meta has not been fully implemented across the board. Meta has only been implemented to the enterprise pages. So organizations and such, private pages and personal pages are still Facebook.
Yep.
Now, if they want some consistency, they should just put it across the board because Meta their interface is so intensely different. It is to be confusing to flip back and forth. It is like flipping between iOS and Android every time you use a different thing.
Yep.
And if you are not versed in that, it is flippin' confusing.
Yeah, the Facebook one is called Threads. Or threading, something like that. And it's linked to Instagram.
Oh, the alternative?
Yep.
Okay.
Mastodon has been around for a while. It's just that it's a real pain in the ass to set something up on Mastodon.
We should all just go back to MySpace. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Somebody actually said something about that just the other day.
I thought that had been shut down completely.
It was.
And deleted. Yeah.
I'm just being flippant because I actually used MySpace. Then again, I used LiveJournal too, for that matter, but...
And I never used any of those. I used Facebook for a little bit, but I kept getting so much spam that I deleted it.
I use Facebook for very specific reasons. I have, this is going to probably surprise some people in chat. I have, of my personal pages, people pages, I have like 25, and I know 18 of them personally. The rest of my pages are group pages. They're community pages that I follow because they're crafting groups and things like that.
Well,
But
do you know how hard? Do you know how
things.
hard it is in order to set up a TexCub SF Facebook page?
Yes, I do. It's probably just as hard as it was to set up a couple of other things that I've tried to set up for people.
Yeah, because they've enforced having to use your own name, your real name.
It is now.
I
got lucky. I got very, very lucky because I set my accounts up in a time and a place when you were encouraged not to use your real name.
I know.
So my name isn't on my Facebook account. My name says Karubian All. And for all practical purposes, that has been my online name for 2 decades. And yeah, it now I hear all these things about my friends saying they can't use pseudonyms unless they dress it up like a real name, because Facebook won't let them put their single names in there.
Yep. Well, in order for me to use Facebook as TexCub SF, I have to create an account with my name, then set up TexCub SF as a fan page associated with that name.
What?
Yep. It has to be linked to a fan page. Because I don't want people knowing what my real name is.
No,
and
but I mean,
I can't just set up a TexCub SF page.
But they can't. You can't use that as a username.
Not on
Facebook. And then hide your.
Yeah, but you have to do it as 2 separate pages.
That's why I'm asking. Is because like I said, I guess mine is just old enough that because my name's not on mine. It's just. But then again, I have a first and last name. It may recognize that as. It may see it as an actual name. So I don't know. Yeah,
but if they ever find out that that's not associated with a real name, they can delete that page.
I have tried.
They have to prove that it's not a registered legal alias.
And I have actually tried on 2 different occasions to delete that account. I've jumped through their hoops.
Imminent. If you ever look me up on YouTube, my YouTube name is Tex Space Cub SF. Because I can get away with that on YouTube. I can't get away with that on Facebook. Unless they've made changes recently. Yeah, you have to set up 2 separate pages. And link the 2.
And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that's also part of that meta thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is, like you say, a colossal pain in the patootie. I hate using it. It just made my work on Clubhouse that much worse.
So you need an Instagram account. That's easy. Just throw a name on there, anything you want, and
Yeah.
you're done.
I've got an Instagram. I've even got pictures posted.
Except when you want to attach it to your Facebook account.
Do you know about Nightshade?
The plant?
No, the software.
No.
You should.
Sounds familiar.
It prevents Meta
Mm-hmm.
and other services from scraping your Instagram or other photo posting, but particularly Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Scraping your images to train their AIs.
Oh.
And
Do they still have it set so that they own any pictures you upload to Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah,
there's a reason I don't have an Instagram account.
They do now because it's owned by Facebook.
Uh-huh. Same with Facebook. Nothing you upload to Facebook is yours anymore.
Oh, it's always mine. They can profess a unlimited license.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make it so.
Yeah, Facebook is really bad with posting content without giving credit to the original poster.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and and the thing about Nightshade is it is designed to poison their scrapers in such a way that, I mean, there are some companies that are, paying artists for their licensing their work to train their AIs. And so, it's like watermarking, only it's a little more complex than watermarking.
Yeah.
Because it actually confuses the AIs. Look it up. There's a recent article about it that shows some examples, and it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And, if we can keep them from stealing it, then maybe they'll pay for it.
Yeah. I went out to Instagram.
Some of the companies actually are. Some of the I think Dolly.
WhatsApp is owned by Facebook too?
Something else. Another one of the AI image generators. License images, mostly from independents, to train their AIs. And so, they're not stealing them.
I went out to Instagram to grab my one and only picture out there, and discovered that I had like 500 followers, or I was following 500 or 600 more, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that wasn't good. And it's next to impossible to, get unsubscribed from these things, and it's like, F. Gave up.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if that's why the spam filter on my Gmail account is so good. So I've been using their report spam enough now that they've actually gotten fairly good at catching 99% of it.
Yeah, well, my spam filter is a little too good sometimes, because a lot of like the makeup companies I follow are very of the age, and so they use lots of emojis.
Oh.
So, and the spam detector says, "Oh, emojis. Yeah, this is a scam." And they just like, "Wait, I'm looking for email. Where is it?"
Mm-hmm.
And go to spam. Like, oh, there it is. And go through a process. Don't do that again, Dot. It's a good email.
Do you use rules and stuff at all?
I think I do. I don't know. I need to check it because they do updates and change some things. So I need to go and look at my settings again.
Yeah, that was since and it doesn't work for everybody, obviously, but I finally got to a point where I started learning how to use rules and such because I do manage so much mail at times. I don't as much
Involved.
now, but when I had mailing lists and had tons of mail, and I realized she stepped away, but I'll finish my thought anyhow. Um, it just was so helpful to be able to say go here, go there, go there, go there, and so I didn't have to go because there was a time when I was on dial-up. I had split my mail outs because I wasn't going to go through 300 pieces of mail to find one.
The only one that I get any real spam on is one that I use for sign-ups.
Oh yeah, my junk account. Sure,
Yeah.
that's specifically for that. But this isn't even about managing spam. This is just managing things I actually do want. But they don't all need to be in one folder. They can be, subcategorized so that I can get to them later and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm not dealing with it
I've
in
been
my
doing that for years.
exactly same. And it is amazingly so helpful.
I didn't realize that the UK lost their data protection when they left the EU.
Brexit. God love
Yep. That's actually really funny. That's very funny. And you were saying Apple phone users are going to be in trouble?
Because
UK is proposing blocking
on that
future
side.
Apple security updates because the UK wants to remove anything that blocks their access. Yep.
Yep.
I don't think the UK is going to get away with that, though, or may not get away with it.
They might to a certain level. They might not fully be able to implement it, but they might get a certain, like, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, that's why that happened. I turned a corner. Okay, cool.
And the other country that's right in the middle of the EU that
it's pushing big issues on that.
That we were cautioned about for our cellular use when we were over there is Switzerland. Because the SIM cards that we got in Germany were good basically anywhere in the EU, and my British SIM card was good. But they would all be on commercial roaming if we attached ourselves to a Swiss cell site. And only once were we close enough to Switzerland that might have been an issue. But yeah, commercial roaming rates.
You're in Scotland, so you're still hoping for independence. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Well, I can get behind that in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want any government entity having backdoor access to my phone. Of course, I don't really keep anything on my phone. Except for a couple of dirty pictures, but I don't care if they see those. Right? No.
spikes. Didn't
Oh, how mighty nice of her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Norman and Glowy Norman are gonna hug the spikes.
Oh,
nice.
That was sweet.
And just spreading their love. Or something.
I was gonna say, or something.
Squirrel!
And Raccoon Brain, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Nut Hut.
Second, I'm gonna have to do spike repairs every so often here.
There's a bunch of spikes sitting in my workbench that I made because I had every intention of spiking out the spot, and then I've never been back. I've spent the last, 6 or 7 in-game days between Horde and just doing the thing, and then being out here helping boss and a few other things and resource gathering, and so I never did make it actually back to the project site to put spikes up.
And Imminent, I agree completely. That's why I wouldn't want them having access. Because they don't... It's too easy for other people to steal or gain access through the government like that.
Absolutely.
Now, your last independence referendum was fairly close, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I've got family there, so I sort of pay attention. But, yeah, close enough to be interesting.
Exactly, Imminent. Exactly. And it's not like they wouldn't be able to figure out how to access that back door.
Basically, it will make phones, especially iPhones, jailbreakable again.
Yep.
Oh, don't get me started on Irish independence. That is politics, and we don't do that here.
We don't do that. Yep.
Yep.
But I will tell you, my work to that end cost me a security clearance.
Well, there's still a few pointy bits that I haven't been able to smooth out very well with a block, but oh, that fog is thick. Oh, Tex, where did you get your coat rack? The one downstairs in the foyer?
Amazon. I can send you the link after stream.
That would be perfect. Or tomorrow. It's no crush, no rush. However, I am gonna go take some meds. You guys have a lovely night.
Rest well.
I will. Oh, and night. I think I looked at the wrong day. Rock Club is next week, so don't worry about tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you want to do something tomorrow, we certainly can, but there's no rush about. I mean, we can take the stuff over to the club, but there's no rush about being at meeting.
Yeah, well, need to go to TJ's, so...
TJ's?
Yeah,
we'll go run errands.
Yeah.
What is TJ's?
Trader Joe's.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. That sounds great. And I'll pick up some milk then. I'll see you tomorrow after, I forget the sub's name, but after the sub leaves.
Yep.
Okay. Have a good night.
Good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Just to further mess with Britain? Yep.
Well, there was a time for the empire on which the sun never sets. That time is not now.
Now, where was I?
You got a lot done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, my first ex was fascinated by the British monarchy.
Well, my family history is kind of interesting.
Mm.
Because, you know, I used to tell folk, you know, we've been documentably fighting the Brits since 1652. And then I find out that my great times, however many, grandfather on my dad's side was one of Elizabeth I's most trusted advisors for like 40 years. So, yeah, my dad's side of the family apparently were. But his grandmother had the temerity from a very landed British family, had the temerity to marry not one but 2 Irishmen.
Gasp.
Yes, because the first one was killed in a wagon accident, and so his brother married the widow. But by that time, marrying the first one got her to the U.S. because her very landed British family was having no part of that.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to need to call it a night pretty soon.
Well, I got company, so
So I'm starting to fall asleep.
Give me a minute to wail on the creamy sorority girl.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back to the base and check on all the forges, make sure they're all off.
Okay.
I think I only put 100 minutes in them.
Huh?
I only put 100 minutes in all of them, so.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've got
Because I'm starting to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And another shrieky girl.
You're taking all the zombies.
Apparently.
They like you more than us.
What was the trivia? What's the longest English word that can be typed using only the right side of the QWERTY keyboard? Ah, okay.
We know that one.
Yep.
It's Kirby's kitty's nickname.
Mm-hmm. There should be new questions in the trivia bot now.
Oh,
And Jess, welcome.
I'm gonna add a bunch too.
Add them to the end of what, is it Sebeka's?
Yeah.
That did?
I will.
So I've already uploaded his changes.
Yep.
How are you doing tonight, Jess? You want DNA samples to see? Uh-huh.
What do we want DNA samples for?
Any famous Normans or Vikings who settled in Normandy? Good getting over the flu, so it's been a rough go. This is... I've got 14,000 hours in the game. And I'm still enjoying it. It is a good game.
Well, and we do extravagant things.
Hmm. We're doing a big build. Oh, I still have debug on. Dang it.
Well, so you can fly over it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And also it's daytime too.
I know.
So you can
Yes.
fly over it and show people.
And also show them the courtyard. The first one. It's finally done. Well, it's 99% done.
Yeah.
I got sidetracked again.
And the interior that's 99% complete is this part. Did you know you had an unpainted block in here?
I did not. It's
Mm.
probably from me doing something upstairs.
Probably.
We're having fun. I enjoy doing this. It's part of the reason why I've been spending so much time on the landscaping. We haven't really done that much with the landscaping around the build. Yet.
Another reason we have to go out to the wasteland.
So that was just a flat wall back there when I started. Is that L that I keep hearing in the background?
No.
Nope. You hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You hear nothing.
So that's where the wall used to be. And this part was looking really cramped. So there's going to be gardens out here. With pathways between the different types of gardens. And now that I've got that tiered back, it looks much more open out here. And I'm much happier with the way that looks. Instead of it being flat. A flat wall here.
Yeah, we actually did do a build where we took a mountain down.
Yeah, but we built on top of that mountain where we dug it out.
We did.
And we didn't do much landscaping.
We used it for resources. Yeah, we used it for resources, but we did in fact take down a mountain.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, we took it down too, actually, but yes.
So curly.
The tree. Probably.
It's Annie goofing off.
Clearly, she's been looking at Texas coat rack. Seriously, it looks like Texas coat rack.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I could, Eminent, I could see that as a chandelier
See,
very
that was
easily.
actually, I was trying to do like a chandelier for
Oh.
the room. And I was like, okay, how can I do this?
Hmm.
And that's what I was doing. Unfortunately, I can't put lights on it on certain points.
Yeah.
Because the way the blocks are situated, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Just embed a mining lantern underneath it. I'm sure that'll work. If you're 10 feet away. Your 7 days chains? Actually, 7 days to die does have chains, but you have to go into creative in order to get them. It's like the bushies over here. Those square hedges, you can't craft them. So there are 2 or 3 things that we're pulling from creative. And the bushies are one of those. These bushies.
However, we're still doing this in survival.
Uh-huh.
You know, hence the noisy sorority girl.
Yeah, she's chill out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I was calling it a night.
Sure.
Yep, I am just buttoning up forges at the workshop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let me let chat go, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okie doke. Good night, chat. Happy times and wherever you are.
Okay, so I appreciate everyone coming out. Jesse, Raccoon Marine, and all the follows tonight. I really do appreciate that. Eminent, Dragon Lord, Draconis, and everyone else. I'll see y'all. I should be streaming tomorrow. I finally got my sleep schedule on track, so we should be good. At least until it happens again. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Hope y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all then. So, good night. Too many G's. Well, see you tomorrow.